Welcome everybody to another episode of A Minute With. Today we have Michele Rossi, our lower elementary instructional science specialist. It's a tongue twister.
That's a mouthful.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah.
But she does some really great work.
Maybe, kind of.
So, what's your favorite thing about working at SJA?
I love the kids. It's really fun to do labs, and the kids come up, and we're having a great time. We did a fun one yesterday. But even more than kids, I love working with the teachers. And that's part of what I do, is I get to work with teachers and students, and I'd say that we just have such a lovely staff. And I really like, hanging out with them.
So if you weren't a teacher, what would you be?
An actress.
You even know that's a joke. That's it. There's no punchline there. That's it.
That's it. I got it. I think if I was a high school student today, I would become a package engineer.
A package engineer?
Yeah, I just think that is the most fascinating thing.
Why is that?
And I'm really bummed out that all that type of those types of jobs didn't exist when I was younger. Think about it. Think about how things are packaged and how much we're wasting, and also how sometimes, due to the package design, it becomes so much more alluring and compelling to want to buy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, it is.
I thought about this a lot. So, what's your most favorite thing about working in Korea, or just about Korean culture in general?
I love this island. I think the island is beautiful, and I come from a very busy, congested California city, and we had 2 cars, and we were constantly driving in traffic. So I love walking to work every day.
Yeah.
I absolutely love walking to work every day and walking home. Other than that, I love omegi. If anyone wants to gift, do you know what omegi is?
Maybe, I don't know.
It's so there's different kinds of rice cakes that you would eat, and I love to eat them in the morning with coffee. And the omegi
They're the ones that are stuffed with different things?
Yeah, there's different kinds, but the omegi are just from Jeju, and they have like a mugwort feeling maybe, and then they have a coating of something. They're delicious. So
what's the best advice you've ever been given?
I was given advice by my dad the day before I got married, and I have been married for 21 years. And he said, you are going to always feel like you're putting more effort into the relationship. It's going to feel 90-10. You're going to feel like you're doing 90% of the work and your partner's only doing 10%, but you need to remember this, they're feeling the exact same way.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It's a great point. I think in any kind of relationship that you have, even as coworkers, you always feel like, I'm doing so much stuff. Yeah. They're feeling the exact same way. In
particular, when I work with you, I feel like I'm putting in 110%, and you're putting in minus 10%. That's
That's how I feel the same way. Except I'm doing like 200%, and you're doing like...
Yeah. What's the best advice that you could give to a student?
Try harder.
Work harder. You're not doing enough.
Yeah. But I do think there's never an end to learning. And so if you can somehow look at the world in a way that where you're always curious and you're always wondering, then I think it doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel, I want to say the word in Italian, pesante. It doesn't get you down because everything's amazing.
I hear that you speak Italian.
I do.
Can you speak some Italian for me now?
One of my favorite Italian words, and sometimes I tell students this, is this, bo. And it's funny sounding because bo is a funny sounding thing, especially if you say it the Italian way. You do this, bo, and you have to raise your shoulders up, and it means I don't know.
Bo.
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 So if you could have one superpower, what would that be?
Flying.
Flying? Everybody says flying.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was so original.
So what is the craziest thing that's ever happened to you?
One of the craziest things that didn't happen to me, but that I was involved in, is that I ran with the bulls in Pamplona.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and so if you don't know this, kids, don't try this at home. And they block off the perpendicular streets with barricades, but barricades that people could sit on top of.
Yeah. And so you're all just running down this all these cut-off streets
Right.
to get to the arena.
Right, and you hear that cannon, and everyone kind of goes, ha ha! And so you start walking down the street. You don't run, because
Right.
that's not cool. And then you sort of feel a surge of people, and everyone starts to run a little bit more. And then you hear like,
That's pretty
oh my
terrifying.
God! It was crazy. And those hooves on the cobblestone.
Yeah.
And it's not one bull, it's several. And you hear more, and it's terrifying. It was so exhilarating.
That's pretty crazy. So, what is your biggest fear?
A snake in my bed.
In your bed?
Well, like a snake, I feel like I could walk away from a snake. But like
Right.
my biggest fear, like the snake is in my bed.
It's completely irrational. So I always finish off with this piece. What is one piece of Aussie slang that you can say and you have to say it in the Aussie accent?
Oh my gosh, I can't do any accent except
do your best.
my husband's Italian accent.
Do your best.
Avo.
Arvo. That's right. That's what Coach B said. Arvo, which
Oh,
means
really?
which means
Afternoon.
afternoon. There you go. You said it pretty well. Cool. Thank you very much, Michele Rossi. Really appreciate it. Nice.